Now on the budget. We are not even 100 days into Donald Trump's second term, and his presidency is already a dumpster fire. His tariffs, for one, are the largest tax hike on American families in half a century since the Vietnam War. His bumbling trade war wiped trillions of dollars from American retirement savings. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is crashing the Social Security website, shutting down local offices and disconnecting phone services. All these closures and firings show his real desire is to decimate Social Security. In March, employment for U.S. small businesses with 1 to 9 employees decreased by 98,000 jobs. Consumer confidence is at a 4-year low. Outlook for the economy is at a 12-year low. The odds of recession are at 60%. Some have argued, Larry Fink, that the recession has already started, according to the CEOs he's talked to. And what are Republicans in Congress doing about all this chaos, all this mess, all this severe harm to American families? Here's their answer: cut taxes for billionaires.
Hey there, fellow patriots. Welcome back to Right View Nation, the channel where we say what the mainstream media won't, and we call out the left's nonsense loud and clear. Today we've got a hot one, folks. Chuck Schumer, yes, that Chuck Schumer, just gave a speech that Forbes Breaking News published under the title, "Americans Don't Like It." Chuck Schumer says GOP are tying themselves in knots to pass budget. Now listen, I sat through the whole thing, and I've got thoughts. And if you care about truth, freedom, and this great republic, then sit tight, because the gaslighting from the left just hit a new level.
And why are they doing that? How are they going to pay for that? By taking away Americans' health care, making it harder for working families to put food on the table, slashing veterans' assistance and help for rural communities, kids, and Americans with disabilities. With the threats of a recession on the rise because of these tariffs, do House Republicans really want to sign their name on a bill that adds $37 trillion to the deficit? They should tread carefully. I said last Friday that for all the hand-wringing so far, the hard part for Republicans remains in front of them. The Republican agenda suffers from a fatal flaw. Its various pieces are all unpopular on their own, but when pieced together, it's even worse. That's why the Republicans are having such trouble coming together. It's not even to deal with Democrats. The House and Senate Republicans are at loggerheads. Members within each caucus, each Republican caucus, are at loggerheads. Why? Because the two policies are both unpopular. Slashing Medicaid, reducing taxes on billionaires. Americans don't like it, so the Republicans are tying themselves in a knot in trying to get this done against the will of the American people. Republicans in Congress want to cut taxes for billionaires and pay for it by taking away Americans' health care, making it harder for working families to put food on the table. This is incredible. With the threats of a recession on the rise because of these tariffs, do House Republicans really want to sign their name to this bill, as I said before? The bottom line is, sooner or later, Republicans are going to have to face the music. There aren't enough procedural gimmicks in the world to change the reality. The Republican agenda on both sides, slashing programs like health care that people need, tax cuts for billionaires, it's unpopular on both sides. It's not going to get any more popular moving forward, and the Republicans will have to tie themselves in lots of pretzel knots to even get a bill passed, such a highly unpopular bill passed.
Right out the gate, Schumer calls President Trump's second term a dumpster fire. Really, Chuck? The man who brought back America first, who fought tooth and nail to rebuild American industry and bring jobs back home. Is that a dumpster fire to you? Or are you just mad he disrupted your cozy DC club? Trump's tariffs weren't a tax on the American people. They were a message to countries like China. You don't get to eat our lunch anymore. That's not failure, that's strength. And now Schumer's blaming Elon Musk? Apparently Musk is crashing the Social Security website. You really can't make this stuff up. Elon Musk is an innovator, a job creator, and a free speech champion. But because he won't play by the left's rules, They paint him as some comic book villain trying to decimate Social Security. Let's be honest, Social Security is failing because of Washington's own mismanagement over the decades, not Elon Musk. Schumer rattles off numbers, job losses, low consumer confidence, odds of recession, and blames it all on Republicans. But where was Chuck when Democrat-led lockdowns crushed small businesses? Where was he when Biden's inflationary spending set this whole thing off? The truth is, the Republican Party is trying to correct course by cutting bloated spending and getting government out of the way so the economy can breathe again. Here we go again with the same old Democrat line. Republicans just want to cut taxes for billionaires. Newsflash, Chuck. Tax cuts stimulate growth. When you let job creators keep more of what they earn, they invest, they hire, they expand. That's how America works. Trickle-down isn't a myth. It's how capitalism succeeds. But the left wants you dependent, not empowered. Schumer accuses the GOP of wanting to take away health care, hurt rural communities, veterans, kids, the disabled, basically every vulnerable group under the sun. This is fear-mongering at its finest. What Republicans actually want is to reform systems that are inefficient, wasteful, and bloated with bureaucracy. We believe in helping the needy, but not in letting fraud and waste run wild while hardworking Americans foot the bill. And let's not ignore the ultimate hypocrisy. Schumer warning that the GOP budget could add $3.7 trillion to the deficit. This, coming from the party that passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which increased inflation and pushed Biden's bloated multi-trillion-dollar spending bonanza. Spare me, Chuck. Republicans are trying to rein in the madness your side unleashed. Schumer mocks Republicans for having disagreements within the party. But guess what? That's called representative democracy. We debate. We don't just fall in line like the Democrats do when their leadership snaps their fingers. Having different voices in the GOP shows strength, not chaos. Schumer says the Republican agenda is unpopular. Really? Americans don't want lower taxes? Americans don't want less government interference? Americans don't want secure borders, fair trade, and energy independence? The only thing that's truly unpopular is the radical left-wing agenda. Gender ideology in schools, open borders, cancel culture, government overreach, and we're sick of it. At the end of the day, Republicans aren't tying themselves in knots. They're fighting a battle on your behalf, against a media machine, a weaponized federal government, and a left-wing elite that thinks they know better than you. Don't be fooled by the spin. This budget fight is about returning power to the people. Friends, if you're tired of the lies, the double standards, and the constant attacks on conservative values, stand up, speak out, support candidates who aren't afraid to challenge the status quo. Chuck Schumer can spin all he wants, but we know the truth, and come November, so will the rest of America. This is Red, White, and Truth. Subscribe, share, and stay loud, stay proud, and stay American. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.